Hey guys, it's Timmy here, and welcome back to another episode of Underdog. And in today's video, we're going to be going over the G2A4 rifle in Titanfall. Now, the G2A4 rifle is a different type of assault rifle in Titanfall. Instead of it being fully automatic or a burst fire assault rifle, it is single shot, but because it's a single shot, it means it trades off the slower rate of fire that it has for a higher damage, making it more of a medium range combat rifle, but still very powerful and actually one of my favorite weapons in Titanfall. So let's get into it. The damage for the G2A4 rifle is 99 maximum damage and it drops down to a 66 minimum damage, making it a 3 to 4 shot kill for pilots and about two shots to 3 shots for grunts. Now, it's weird because it's a 99 damage, so it's really close to being a 2-shot kill, but it's not. So say you're playing Titanfall and it's attrition and the pilot gets hurt, for example, anything, maybe a stray bullet or something, that's going to make it so if you get that kill, it's only going to take you 2 shots, or even less if it was a different kind of gun. This is a very powerful gun, that's all I'm saying. The damage is crazy high, and it is so good. This is actually really good. It's actually one of my favorite guns, and I just really like the G2A4. It's a different type of weapon, and many people don't expect you to use something like this. They don't expect the power that the G2A4 has. Now, the rate of fire for the G2A4 is kind of on the low side, but it's not too bad. Last week, the longbow DMR, that was actually a really slow rate of fire. This is much better. It's actually double that at 420 rounds per minute for the G2A4. That's a bit slower than the Smart Pistol, but like I said, it's double the longbow DMR, so it's actually pretty quick. And if you equip the match trigger attachment, you're actually going to be able to fire it even faster. Now, it's really good. It's a pretty decent rate of fire. I could like shoot the trigger really fast, but if you want to like take your shots slower, you can. And there's not going to be any problems where you're going to be firing so fast that your bullets are just going to go off course. I mean, it's a pretty decent rate of fire. The reload time for the G2A4 is a 2.2 seconds with bullets still in the magazine, and 2.64 seconds with a completely empty magazine. Kind of slow. I mean, it's right around there with most times of the guns in the game. Again, you could use the fast reload attachment if you want, or perk, whatever it's called, and you could use that if you want to use and have like a faster reload, but it's not too bad, especially this is more of a medium ranged rifle, so you shouldn't be too much in the fight, and it's a decent rate of fire, a decent reload time. It's not too bad. Now, the magazine size for the G2A4 is 14 rounds, not too bad. It's a good, nice magazine size, and if you put extended mags, you're going to go up to 18 rounds, which is pretty good. I wouldn't suggest extended mag in my opinion. I'll talk about it in the loadout section, but 14 rounds is enough, especially for the slower rate of fire that it has. And on one attachment, actually lowers the magazine size all the way down to 8. So I think a 14 round magazine is more than enough for what you're going to be doing with the G2A4. Now, loadout for the G2A4 is pretty easy. It's a more close range, more kind of in your face, but kind of long range setup for the G2A4. Now, there's 3 optic choices for the G2A4. You could have the HCOG sight, which is, we all know that's this pretty much the plain Jane red dot kind of sight that everyone uses, and I think it's the best sight in the game. It's very clear. It doesn't have a super amount of magnification, so you're not going to be able to overly like zoom in on a target and lose your peripheral vision. It's a pretty good sight. Next is the AOG sight and the holographic sight. You could use those if you want. The holographic sight has a 2.1 times magnification, and the AOG, I believe, has a 3.1 times magnification. So you could use either one if you want. I really don't like those. I just think that the HCOG is the best sight for the G2A4. Now, for the G2A4, we also have modifications. We have the Suppressor, which we obviously know what that is. It lowers damage, but it keeps you off the minimap. I suggest the Suppressor because with the HCOG and the Suppressor, you can actually be a really close quarters type of rifleman, and they're not going to expect it because of the high damage with the G2A4. You could also put extended mag if you want. Like I said, it brings up to 18 rounds. I don't suggest it. I think the 14 rounds is enough. Now, this is a special attachment, the match trigger. The match trigger basically increases your rate of fire. I don't have the hard numbers on it, but it does increase your rate of fire by a lot. So you could spam the trigger all you want, and it shoots much faster. but the trade-off is instead of 14 rounds, it actually drops down to 8 rounds in the magazine, which kind of sucks because the 8 rounds in a magazine is kind of hard, especially when you're killing 3 people with, you have to use 3 bullets to kill a person. So I really don't suggest the match trigger. If you want to try it out, it's fun to use. I'm not gonna lie, it is fun to use, but to be effective, I love using HCOG and Suppressor. The high damage that this weapon has, you can easily sneak up on people and they won't expect it by like the time the second shot comes. So yeah guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Underdog. Be sure to try out the G2A4. It's a really good rifle. I really like it. So yeah guys, I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to leave a like, favorite, subscribe, all that stuff, and I'll see you guys next time.